Okay, we come to order at 5:02 p.m. Let's introduce ourselves for the record. Bob Morley, Select Board. Matt Maxwell, Town Administrator, starting in the back. You're next, Karen.
Gavin Simmons, state rep.
Chris Ryan, Newport, yeah. Thank you very much. We need changes tonight to the agenda. Okay, public comment. Captain Sims.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the opportunity to come connect with you all. As you may know, I'm Simmons and I'm running for state senate. And as a part of that campaign, I'm now visiting select boards, school boards, folks on the ground in communities. I'm going to really hear more about the issues that matter to you and share a little bit about myself. And maybe to start with background, I live in Craftsbury, my husband, and 2 kiddos, 5 and 7. I just finished my 2nd term in the legislature of the state rep. I represent Albany, Craftsbury, Borough Glover. I serve on the House Ways and Means Committee, one of the 2 money committees, and also the co-chair of the Rural Caucus, which is a bipartisan group of legislators with over 60 members strong, and we work hard to advocate for the issues that matter to rural communities. I'm motivated to serve. I care deeply about this place. And it feels like it's harder to make ends meet, and I'm worried about the future. It's been an honor to serve our communities down there, where I speak up on issues that I feel like benefit our small rural communities. Played an active role in trying to address our housing crisis by reforming Act 250, making investments to build more housing, working on the forest economy to make sure that our working lands have an opportunity to thrive in the future, working on EMS and flood recovery. I'm also not afraid to speak up and vote no on things that I don't think are the best use of our communities. I voted no on the property tax increase. I don't think voters can afford double-digit property tax increases at this time. I voted no on the renewable energy standard, which I think will, unfortunately raise electric utility rates for Vermonters at a time when I can't think I don't think we can afford that. Yeah, I'm excited about the opportunity to potentially serve in the Senate and have even more of an opportunity to advocate for our region. We face big challenges, but I think working together and show that there's a vibrant future for everyone. But really, wanted to turn it over to you and hear a little bit about what's going on in Coventry. What are the biggest challenges that you face? What do you hope Montpelier can do to better support? And or answer any questions you might have.
Yeah.
I guess everything you said is true. Everything's so expensive. Cell service would be great. The internet, they're all it's all in the works, but everything's really expensive right now.
Yeah, my first term, I now going to serve on energy and technology committee, and during campaigning had heard that broadband was up there as sort of top issue, and we were fortunate with the ARPA funding to be able to allocate a significant amount of that to building out broadband through the communication union district and broadband, and make sure that we're not leaving anyone behind. Unfortunately, it takes a while to build the 3,000 miles of fiber that we need. We need to stay focused on that until I realize cell service is another even bigger challenge given our topography. Make sure that we're connected so we're not leaving close.
I got 2 big ones for you. One is, well, first of all, Coventry. Coventry is very fortunate. We've had wonderful elected officials, people locally that have done a great job for decades, many decades. So we are fortunate. With that said,
town staff.
What's that?
And great staff.
And great staff. Yeah, really. One of the things that we continue to struggle with as a community is the pipe. We've got 2 rivers that flow through as you know, and, so we've been working, Matt has been working tirelessly, essentially, with, these home buyouts, talking, communicating in the effort, with a lot of moving parts, but I think that a lot of those folks are, looking for that assistance, and they're, genuinely taking interest in it. And so, and the town is supportive of that, and we're taking the steps that we need to. But with that said, I think there is a need beyond the things we can't control. We can't control the rivers. But we're gonna be needing some help in the coming month, year or so. Looking at some of our road systems are getting closer and closer to the river, and we have to move the roads. So we're gonna have to partner up with a lot of folks in the state, looking at how they can help us, what we can do. We're not talking about dredging that typical flooding zone stuff. We're talking about, you know, the roads are gonna be gone in a couple of areas that we have, some of our proposed. So that's a unique thing we're gonna be looking at, probably reaching out. The bigger.
Maybe I can just react
Go
quickly to
ahead.
that. I mean, I think you're absolutely right, that like this is the work for frankly our entire state for the next several years,
Yeah.
right? We've seen that our 100-year floods are coming every 100 years. So whether it's every year, every 2 years, hopefully not on the anniversary of the previous flood every time, but we're in a new normal, and we've got to radically rethink our infrastructure to be more resilient. And it's, you know, that gave me a tour the other day, and showing the house again, it's taking advantage of the buyout, and in some cases that's the right solution. That's means to hire grants, but we, you know, we have so much great infrastructure of our roads that needs reimagining. You know, helped pass the climate resilience and disaster mitigation fund. It was actually legislation I introduced last year, and it got rolled into the bills this year, that will provide funding to municipalities to do some of that planning and then build out of infrastructure investments that we need before storms. So instead of paying it all up after, we're doing, you know, more planning and smart kind of development, not to prepare things later. And I think what's so important to me is making sure that we're not forgetting about smaller towns, that, you know, the berries and the Montpeliers need lots of help, but all the help can't go there. It's just as important to make sure that you're not it's going to take time, but we need to make sure that you all can connect with the technical systems and the resources. Think about roads that were built that kind of act like dams and hold all the water, pushing your dam on that we're really addressing. So that's part of.
Thank you. The second one, I hadn't rehearsed this in my mind, so you may be a little rough that comes out. People are cringing inside, but I believe, can't speak for the board, but I believe that we need to have a better conversation with forward planning for waste services. I've begun that conversation a little bit privately and semi-privately, and I'm going to be introducing the concept here shortly and have a conversation with the board and see essentially where we want to be and where we don't want to be in the discussion. But some of
And
the
you
very
mean like we have one place that waste goes now, and it happens to be in one town that.
and it's been wonderful for us. Put us in positions that we are benefiting from, and we have benefited from, and we will continue to benefit. And so it's a bit of a delicate conversation. I get that, but if it's not had, it will be an opportunity missed. And I think that the state, it's a three-legged stool. And it has to be the state, and it has to be private, corporate, and it has to be the town. And we have to we must, in the future, have that conversation about the planning, what it's. The background that I come from, we did that. Always were ready for all the contingencies on what if this happens, what if this happens, what if, so you can, in a moment's notice, put those things into action. I wanna see if that's done. I wanna know if it's done for long-term. And that has to, so we will be reaching out into, your own chart, asking for some of those.
So I couldn't agree more. Last session, Representative Lee Page and I introduced a bill that kind of created a commission to think about long-term solid waste management. And then we have a permit for, what, maybe 20 more years worth. And then we don't have any plan after that. And having all of the departments, including the town at the table, part of that conversation seems really critical. And so, yeah, we'd love to look at what we introduced in the basket, more feedback, and how do we plan ahead to control and not just the last minute.
Yeah, everybody is treated the town of Coventry first. Every one of those stakeholders, nothing. And that will continue, I'm sure. I'm just that person who always likes to do what ifs, and thinking about it outside of Coventry. We can think about it Coventry style. We're very good at that. But what happens when you can't control Mother Nature? What happens when an earthquake? What happens when something happens to the state? And I think that we should play a role in that. And we should, as a town, we should have that conversation a lot, so that we're all well rehearsed. And I didn't hear that before in any of my conversations. If there was an attempt for a special commission, and that didn't.
So it was a bill we introduced, and the first thing didn't go anywhere. The committee that was taking it out was two committees merged, so they had double the jurisdiction, and they spent most of their time on the fact. Yeah, when they're downstream implications to it, looks like so great that that's at least already on your radar.
We're going to be talking about it. It's going to be coming in the coming months.
We were all grateful about the service that you do. That kind of stuff. And said that a partner will manage that, and it's not a role that today the state is interested in playing. And, everyone's got their table and it's for planning that. Yeah.
Good, thanks, Kathy. Any other public comment tonight? All right, we will go on to the Masonic motorcycle ride. Pat Sloan, this was on last meeting's agenda. This is Pat's charity year. Should have it in front of you. Yeah. So the last meeting that this came, I don't know how much we're discussing that, but we've known about it in discussion since then. Definitely on top now. Didn't ask me about it. One of the things that I always like to say is, we should be consistent. We should not have to think it each time that a tragedy happens. We should for the people who have served the town of Coventry throughout the years, and thank you so much. So this particular unfortunate event brings it back to our table, and so I think that conversation needs to be, well, hey, we should do this and set an amount for that.
with the thought that that amount, I believe, should be consistent with future discussions. And so a little bit of devil in the detail afterwards for you, Matt. And whoever you want to partner up with here on, formulating, creating some sort of working document that talks about when the event happens. That the family will receive this amount of money for whatever they need, which family's gonna do it. So I'm not gonna do whatever. There's gonna be a tiny bit of guardrail on it, probably. So that the town has the ability and knowledge of what it is to fund. So I don't know how that works itself through. The words, anything like that, we can deal with that stuff later. I think for today, I think what we should do is we should accept this, if the family wants. And we should come up with an amendment. And that amount should be in our minds for the document consistent for going forward, so. So.
But I have no idea what to do, that's why I brought up the last meeting.
It's been good on that, we've done $100, we've done a little more than that. But $100. It's a whole lot, and so. I think 500 is really where my mind is. It's an amount that's a little more generous and it would give a family an opportunity to feed some people as best. But they take it very well. And we could budget. But budgets going forward, probably that's great. But we can create one for $1,000. So, what would you do that for?
For this motion, I think, with the amount,
You'll take care of
take care of the paperwork.
all the rest of this deal.
Donate $500 to the Sonic Borders Medical, the Vermont Widow's Sons, for 2024 veteran ride, $100 in memory of Pat's mom.
Second that. All in favor?
Aye.
And that you'll write it in there.
Yes, Chris.
Mr. Muller, can I have a copy of the paperwork you're looking at? And can you kind of explain what this is, when the right is, et cetera?
Matt can do both of those. Can you tell me anything about that, or is there somebody better? Ready to go?
Oh, I know what, mostly what Marie told me. This is a project of Pat's, the money goes to help veterans, disabled veterans, I believe. It's through the VA in White River. And his goal was to raise $15,000 this year, and he alone, I say he alone. His group maybe had raised 11,000 already. So it's, it's just really good to help veterans and honor Pat at the same time.
Any help veterans? I'm not saying it's a great idea, but how does it help veterans?
Oh, it's in there. I'm not really sure. Marie had told me a little bit about it. I don't know if it's like if they need essentials or rides to go places.
So it's to help meet the veterans.
Maybe help they couldn't get elsewhere.
Yeah.
Or they didn't qualify for it.
Okay, and
Yes, that was her request.
okay, and Marie,
Sloan.
very strong, okay, that's his bottom line. And, he passed away.
End of June. In June.
Okay, and the ride is August 4th. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Sunday, August 4th.
And from where to where?
We can help you with all that detail. I really don't know. Like, off the top of my head.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, next up, we have Coventry Fire District Business.
Today,
Don't see him, no.
very film.
I had not.
Yeah.
Today,
Um. First of all, we did receive. What did we receive? We received from Don, you can get a copy of that, the bylaws. Sure. So I hadn't received it, but. So I'll share that, but Mr. Ray, I talked to you. Oh. So we do have that, I have read them. And the updates, I think the original document there is going to be over, so there's a couple of updates since then. So that was that, that's good, that's something we requested. With that said, there were some emails requesting that information, and part of that was also to please, help in contact and communicate, and he, Mr. Gray did call me, last week. And he, asked to sit with me, which we did on Friday. I came here to the building, and he and I had a very nice conversation for an hour or more about all the things that matter that we're talking about. And, I relayed my concerns, concerns of the board, discussions we continue to have, official, potential rating stance that we took, not paying the bill for water rent, and why we did that. What our expectations are, and they're essentially very easy. The expectations that we have is that the Coventry Fire District officials, well, the people who are engaging in business of the fire district, come to this meeting so that we can have public discussion and take steps together to remedy the issues. We've been calling for that for a long time. It still hasn't happened. So we're going to, as a board, I believe, continue to take steps to make that happen. So our discussion Friday, one of the fruits of that was that it's for him, but this one is that Mr. Gervais agreed with many of our concerns, asked what we could do, what he could do to help us, and my response was come here and talk to us, so we can flush all this stuff out together. And we can make decisions together about how we make the remedy the situation that he finds himself in, which is not having the officials. Not maybe being outside the bounds and rules regarding how we make decisions in municipalities. So I expected that he would be here today. That was disappointing, so.
Maybe with the business grants, we should either have a meeting later or just have a special meeting. And we can attend. I don't know what his work hours are, if he doesn't get home until 5:36 or 7.
Yeah,
That's an option.
you know me, everybody gets me every day they want, so whatever works, I will do. That wasn't part of our discussion Friday, here, right? But the other piece to that was, for just everything else I would say about Friday's discussion. Other than, we both believe that it's time that conversation occurs at a table face to face with probably Mr. Goulet and the fire district attorney, who's been engaged with us in some of these issues, and the select board, either as a whole or an individual, with the town and have a conversation. And, you know, not keep going weeks and months and not really. So that's what we got. That's kind of what got from the table. I like it. We can do that. Again, I think we have that discussion. We'll get there.
And that one might be one.
So. Feel about that, we figure that out, and if they want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, that's where I'm at. That's where we're at. I am disappointed, I'm very disappointed that we're still there. I'm very disappointed that we don't have a partner here. Very disappointed in the way the business is being carried out. I'm very disappointed that we talked about this for years and years and we're still in the same place, maybe potentially worse. Disappointed with all those things, and I think that it's up to us, you know, to put you in discipline and fix it. So we have to. Talk to people.
It's gonna be getting everybody to that, you said. 8 o'clock in the morning, it's, you know, that's what his works for the work, so. Plan it for, 7 o'clock at night. I'm sure returns have a all odd times.
I have a question. So, as a member of the fire district, as a resident of the town of Coventry, my concerns are this. We keep talking about Mr. Gervais as if he is on the credential committee. As I've said a month and a half ago, there's not been an annual meeting, there's not been an election, there's not been a budget. So in my mind, Mr. Gervais is not on the credential committee. My other question is, when you met with him, how is business being conducted? In other words, how are bills being paid when you don't have a legal official? Who is paying bills? Who is writing checks? And was that discussed with this individual?
So,
I just want to, so in my mind, members of the fire district should be informed as to what is happening, because a lot of people don't know. Unless you come to a select board meeting, you don't really understand the delicacies here and perhaps the municipal law and statutes behind.
all right. That's a lot.
I know.
I'm gonna try.
I know.
So. So recap. Currently, there's agreement with everybody that's talked about it, at least that I've talked to and listened to, that currently the Coventry Fire District does not have a treasurer, does not have a clerk, has 2 vacant provincial committee seats for various reasons. Does not have a delinquent debt collector. has Mr. Gervais in place as a functioning human who was elected over 3 years.
For a 3-year term.
When the town looked at the level of those details, we've assessed, and our attorney has guided us to think that that then makes Mr. Gervais not officially a financial committee member because the position is past the 3-year term of the original vote.
Correct. I would agree with all.
And so that's been our position. That of the budgeting, that of the meetings, same thing, that had it for the 3-year period or so, so. I don't think that there's any argument to nobody that I talked to or heard from about those issues. The fire district, I don't even want to say it, there's too bad, I suppose. And the fire district's attorney argued and believed that he is officially a financial committee member because there has not been a annual meeting where there is going to vote to change that. Our stance is even if we accept that as a response, which we do not, that is only one position. And we need two, just like we have two to
Right.
make any decision in formal action about anything business Coventry or anything business fire district. And so I hated previously getting into the weeds on that argument when it's moved anything
Correct.
because of, you know,
I would agree.
but legal interpretation of that. There's zero official. That's the stance that we've taken. The budget issue, how they pay the bills, how they make decisions each day. I'm not the best person to have that discussion, I'm not the one to do it.
I understand.
So I can ask those questions, we can ask those questions, we can scratch at that stuff. I think we all know answers to that, but they are getting done. That business is being transacted and the water is still running. But on the other hand of that, we all know the issues that it's outside the bounds of how municipality works. And so, before I get to the third one, that's a combination of reasons why we take steps, taking reasonably in a safe way, push back publicly and say, we don't accept that. We don't accept that any longer in the customer. We don't accept that any longer in the entities of this town. We have school on the system, shelter on the system, and we're always a heartbeat away potentially from a real problem that nobody can pick the pieces up from. So we're now taking the stance that, you know, we are going to do everything in our power responsibly, take corrective action, see that some corrective action is being taken, and I think we probably need to help with it. And we're willing to open the meeting at any time. We're willing to do whatever we can do to help within reason. That's that. The third piece you have is essentially public information. Again, trying to be respectful, trying to be respectful and professional. We have put this on our meetings, every agenda, and we will continue to put it on every agenda going forward until the resolution. We will communicate it. We will talk about it publicly like we're doing tonight. We will beg for help from anybody who wants to come and help. But we're going to continue to take additional steps to have some assurance that there's some people listening. We sent cards out, postcards out, looking for credential committee folks who are interested, we didn't get any. If we somebody out why those, why that is or why that isn't, the reality is there wasn't anybody. So. One of the things that needs to happen is the water district folks need to come here to this thing, they have to come. They have to come here and talk about this. They have to help us assess all of that. They have to transparently talk about the issues that are on the ground and what planning is going forward to fix it. Because we don't have the authority currently.
Right.
The other thing that we kept saying is, I believe, I don't know where we've gotten in our conversation about here this table of the group yet, but I personally believe that it's probably inevitable that the town will end up with the responsibility of the management of the water system. I believe that's true. And so it's therefore important that we gain a very good understanding of it. If we know the moving parts, we can see the budgetary constraints, we can see the outstanding issues, whether it's financial or other. And so we can begin to get a grasp of what it is we're about to do, because I can see it coming. I don't know that that's good, and I don't know that that's not good. I just know that I think that that's what we have. And so I think that the conversation will first need to be started around what is the first step that's taken for all of that. And it's essentially almost like you're starting at zero. You're starting almost like you don't have a fire district other than that there is water. So the business of it isn't in existence today.
Right.
And so in my mind, you have to take the pamphlet that we printed. How do you start a fire district? And literally go through those steps. A petition, creation of the position, not a creation of the position, but elections for the vacancies on all those positions. See what you get or see what you don't get, and then build on that conversation. You may not get anybody that comes up, and then you gotta have a conversation. You may get people that you want forward, hopefully, and you want to serve, and you can start to conduct some business. Whether it's embedded, whether we agree with it or not, doesn't really matter, but you know, but that's the first step. As I see it, I don't think there's anything there that's arguing.
And
I don't know what else to say.
No, and I would agree with everything you said 100%. It's just been extremely frustrating to be a part of this district and have these exact same history has repeated itself. And I thank you for that. I do.
Well, we're gonna get somewhere. So. Really don't. I think it would be terribly irresponsible of a select board in a town to not take the steps that we're taking. Everybody's gonna second guess that, and they should. If and when something happens. And this would be that. What are you gonna do? But we would get asked some very difficult questions, and we should get asked those questions.
I just have one more comment that I would like on the record. One of the questions that I have is where are the financial documents and the minutes and other things that would be asked for public information requests? Are they housed in this building? Because there are filing cabinets here.
I don't know.
Okay, and are they available for public review? By statute, they should.
What's a public record?
Correct. So I just want that on the record.
We'll ask, we'll find that
Thank you.
when we sit together. We hopefully sometime will pass, and I think that was a scenario years ago.
Well, this is almost, this is a repeat of exactly what happened years past, and the outcome there was not good. And I don't foresee the outcome in this time to be good either. So, thank you.
So I can't answer that question. But we'll get-
I don't think
we'll
we
get-
could.
Well. I think that.
Oh, good.
We'll figure it out.
Thank you.
Mr. Morley, I'm kind of in the middle of a movie here, so can you kind of give me a history? You know, as, you know, as a reporter from Newport Daily, more importantly, a resident of Coventry, what's going on?
Have access to the Vermont Digger articles.
Yeah, even if I did,
If you Google
even if
fire
I,
district, country,
even if I did, that's copy, but I can't do that.
So the fire district, the water. Right, that we drink in this building
Yeah,
is. Governed by a standalone municipality called Coventry Fire.
okay,
They're like the town government. So there's a prudential committee of 3 members, just like with the select board of 3 members.
voted by whom?
What's that?
Voted by whom, the members of the district?
Absolutely. You have to be a member of the district, in the, recipient of that water, there's a boundary. And so you have to be within the bounds and it's, businesses can't vote, it's just residents. And so it's in most ways, it's a mirrored image of what we do. The town government, clerk and then the treasurer, position in the pre-production meeting.
Okay, you got the election of officers?
Yes, yeah, it's very similar, it's the same thing that we do. There's the annual election, there's an annual budget, there's conduct their business, just the way we do.
When is that?
Why is that?
When does that happen? When's the annual budget, election of officers?
So,
Sorry.
so the state set the first rule on that, if my memory is correct, that the annual meeting of fire districts would be in January of the year, but that could be adjusted with voting of the members. The Coventry Fire District has done that sometime, when in history, and I believe recent years, that they've been holding an annual meeting in the fall. Did I say?
it was June,
It was-
and there was one in, I believe, October.
Right, they had made an adjustment 4 years ago or so. We're not getting the detail of that, it's a little sketchy for me, but just like we have a town meeting in March, fire district has it's for the same purpose essentially. What's happened over the last number of years is that the people that held those official titles and responsibilities have left for various reasons, their positions, and those positions have remained vacant. And now there is no clerk, there is no treasurer, there is no delinquent person, collector, and there's no credential.
Why not?
I don't. I'm sure. A lot of reasons. Anyone probably put your finger on and say, aha, that's the reason. I think that it's a multitude of reasons, let's say, over the years of reasons. And that's the result where we got to that.
Okay, so what's going on here? The name is J Stone. Trying to straighten it out in my head. What brings us here at, what are we, 5:30, what are the time for the second?
Dominic Gervais has worked with fire district for a number. I believe he was first appointed as a delinquent collector of rents, I believe, and was subsequently then voted at an annual meeting on the credential. But he worked for now almost 4 years on the credential committee, just like we do.
Yeah.
Here, doing the business that we do in the town, he would been doing with whoever his partners were at the time. Each of those years to do the business of the fire. There's no partners anymore, there's only working there anymore, other than him. I will give him some credit. The water's on. We still have a pot of water,
Is that what?
still have drinking water.
Okay.
There hasn't been any interruption of that service. So that's a good thing. Right. The challenge is, however, don't go away. That he's standing alone official. And we actually do not official. Conducting that business. And so we're trying to say responsibly as we can, that's an inappropriate situation and it has to be remedied. So however that remedy takes shape, we're likely to support as long as we have an understanding of it. We do it publicly, we do what we're supposed to do it, and we get to the business of the fire district being conducted so that everybody.
When you say you're about this body,
This body.
so are there any board members? I'm sorry, I know you said it a second ago, but I just want to make sure it's straight in my head. Are there any board members left on the Coventry District, Coventry Fire District?
There's 3 positions, 3 credential committee positions. 2 of those positions are vacant. There's no human. The other is Mr. Gervais, who is conducting the business, making sure the water is on, mowing grass. But one of the issues that we tried to discuss is that we don't believe that he's officially still a credential committee member, because it's been more than 3 years since he voted it. And it's a 3-year term, just like that.
So we, again, we being you guys.
We do it slightly.
So how does that happen? What are you gonna do? I mean, so if Mr. Gervais is not an official member, where does that leave the bike? That's what we're trying to figure out.
Oh, that's our challenge. Thank you for reminding us of that headache.
Hey, that's what I get paid for.
So that's a struggle, isn't it? That's where we're at. So that's why we've been begging, encouraging, challenging, requesting for Dom and whoever else in the world wants to come here or any other time. All got our phone numbers, all got our emails to communicate and talk about just exactly what you're trying to get at, which is what are we gonna do? We gotta fix this.
And when did Gervais' position expire?
November.
Is there a constitution or bylaws? Is there a constitution or bylaws? What do the bylaws say in a time like that? I was president of the years involved in for that. And if there were no officers, the club by default, then. So where does that leave the fire district? No members of the fire district. Who governs it? Is that you guys?
There are members, there's no committee.
There's no committee.
Yep, we have none.
So, one of the pieces of information that we requested recently that I finally received. Sorry.
I need to look my first name.
Oh, okay. Was the bylaws, so that I could educate myself and then share the rest of the board what the bylaws are. And so it doesn't really give clarity on that particular issue in the bylaws, you would have to go to statutes, to the state, to look at interpreting what it is that you do or don't do in these sorts of scenarios. I believe that I know, but I don't want to be the only spokesperson for this issue. I want the fire district people to be spokesfolks for that, their issues. I want us to be here sort of holding their feet to the fire, but I'm willing to do that. But I also want to see that there's acknowledgement, ownership, and discussion about what we do to fix it. And we're here to help. We're going to do whatever we can do to help. That's why previously I said, now that I got your attention, so I can see it landing on the down table for you. And that's okay, whatever, we'll figure it out, but that's not something that the select board can just arbitrarily do. It's something that folks who are members need and must weigh in and vote those sorts of things and deal with those issues. So now we gotta take those steps back, to talk about what, how that happens, what the bill of the folks who are the members, what do they want? It doesn't matter what we want, it matters what they want. So whatever they want, we're gonna try to help facilitate.
Okay, we gotta move on.
I'm sorry. Can I get a copy of the bylaw?
Yeah, listen, call me in the morning or call Scott. And gotta go on.
Just that.
My understanding is that water systems are expected to undergo regular testing. Do you have a sense of whether that testing is happening, if the results confirm that it's potable?
I believe it has happened. I believe that they have a technician or the operator. There you go. So I
I mean, I
believe
guess the point of there's a safety issue there that.
I have no reason at this point to believe that it hasn't. But I wanted to ask that question for months now in this meeting. And it's on probably my top five to say, you know, we need sort of a total at this spot. We need more than transparency. We need total transparency with explanation. So we can ask a whole bunch of questions without filtering. Let's just talk.
It would be helpful if we can create a DEC and I believe it's expected to be submitted to see if we can get anything from that. If we're having trouble.
Let's see
The
where,
answers.
let's see where we get. You know, I don't want to go those routes. I think it's secondary approach. Of course, but we will. So let's try one more.
And just
One more
historically, what is the annual budget then?
I have no idea. I don't think they had a budget for 3 or 4 years.
Not sure what the scale was back then.
I can't give you an accurate, true number.
That's good. That sounds pretty ballpark.
You're helping me. And the Secretary of State might also be another resource, right, around structure, governance issues, but you're on it, trying to.
Well, I think and I do hope people are listening to us tonight. We're probably weeks, not months away from it. Because we've been months already. And we're not asking long. We're not asking long, so we're going to do that one more time, and then, you know, it can't any longer be scheduling conflicts. It needs to be.
Yep, thank you. Okay, dog ordinance update. This was from last meeting. Deb and Renee and Carrie did some updates to the town dog ordinance. I sent both copies to the town attorney for his review. This is what he just barely got back to me with.
It's not, just
Just-
off the press.
Just barely got that Brian.
What's there? Okay, so while she's reading on its own, so Brian, staff got this, they gone through it and they provided us.
That's Brian's response, so that's Brian's response.
I think the need more work.
That's the gist of it.
Okay, well, I suspect. Right. So that's why we do that. So we did what we did. We did a great job drafting this. We got it on paper, we got all our concerns that we had at the time, and I think the draft. And so he knows what we want, where we're headed, and now he's gonna help us formulate the bulletproof stuff, right? Have you seen this yet? No. Okay. So can we just kick it back to you three with this? Is that okay with you? So, Matt will kick it back. And let them digest what the feedback is. And, I do want to.
Get out a copy of that. If you are sharing this or we can, is Bob ready?
Yeah. Yeah. Matt,
I'll send it to you more.
thank you for that. Yeah, that was pretty quick.
What's that?
That was a pretty quick turn.
Oh, yeah.
Attorney's office, so we should say thank you for that.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, town landscaping.
Oh, yeah, so thank you to the town clerk, we only had to get it about flower.
Oh, we were talking the broken light.
What?
We were talking about the broken light.
Well, that's how it started.
Yes. Then it's good.
So, we need to spend some more. I don't, anybody would say, you know, with that said, I would just say that, we were lucky because Dave Gallup, he stayed there for us. And we did a great job with it, something that we always saw and we didn't probably appreciate it. So we don't have, Dave's not working anymore with us. The flower doesn't suck. So, we gotta think.
It's more than the landscape. It's even like some of the town maintenance, is it the road crew that's supposed to be doing it, or should we have somebody that we hire as needed? For the landscaping, for the broken light, for the energy efficiency updates that we want to do.
So, the energy efficiency pieces that we're talking about is Matt. If you all want your administrator with 100% of the knowledge, and he becomes the coordinator of the issue for that authority. So we get it, we see it, we authorize the expenditures with good reason. Try to build that, Matt facilitates it. He'll do that for us. So efficiency stuff that just won't be contracted out, and that's got all the contacts. The broken occasional light, or this or that, same. Now we've had a number of contractors come in and do work for us.
But
We don't have
somebody's not gonna just show up to fix one light, or that's gonna fix the light.
No, Matt is the person who gets paid. To have knowledge of it, coordinate it, and maintain our facility.
Yeah, so what I think is, if we're gonna come back to a meeting to make all those decisions, and Matt has the authority, but, you know, should we find somebody that can do this stuff for us?
So Matt has the authority to expand all of them to up to a certain level. So we're talking about, you know, not major construction, What, fixing the lights, repairing the broken window, doing all of that stuff. We don't want that. We're getting too overwhelmed, but let's overwhelm him. He gets paid the piece. Larger projects like the kitchen, the mom stuff, that's kind of a big $4,000 rate, right? Yep. $4,000, that's a bigger conversation. We need to have here, so that we're identifying what we want. Because there's more than $1,000 of work, so we need to guide them on these are the things that we need to do with the facility. We kept the lawn care, mowing and trimming the lawn with the road crew. And I think that's a good idea because when they got the built in time. It's the flowers. That has been a bit of a sticking point. I think the road crew guys on average probably are going on. I know that. I don't think it's a good idea for us to call it that. Matt probably took this. So I think that is probably just like a clean air and contract, cleaning the building, probably the same. Why it's on. We need to take a little more pride in our place and get those things back in shape. So I got a contract. So it's almost like small. We should say, oh, the great question. We should say, let's put in a amount of money that we feel comfortable spending for that. And we can go from it. Going forward, but figure out a piece of money, so put our plan that was already established, they go back in shape. And get some. Do we have a line? Where did that line item come from? David here? Final listening
It's there, wow,
for the flowers.
to buy the flowers.
I didn't catch the question.
buy
You there, Dave? Sleeping.
nothing.
I didn't hear the question.
David, do you know where the line item that we used in the past for the flowers, the things that David used to do for us? Do we have a line item already created for that?
I think it was just CC supplies, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything specific to landscaping or flowers or garden supplies.
Okay.
I'd have to look. But
Okay, well, if there isn't, that's okay. We probably should do that for next year. Get one added in on that.
Usually it's got lights that light up.
So the two flower beds you have
Oh, there you go.
here, those both need work. And the flower pot probably, and maybe some cover in a barrel to bring things up or some hanging, something. So what's a,
Wow. It's just, wow, now you just got a bunch of good crap that's just going on.
okay,
It's just a representation of our.
right. So what's a reasonable amount of money that we would be able to hire that type of person to come and reestablish the beds we have and do that work? Is there any guess on that?
I'm my weeder and I work for free. For me. I'll come weed the flower beds.
Give me-
Those are perennials.
Right, so just need
We
somebody,
mulch.
so what's it gonna cost us? Give me a ballpark about somebody that can come in here that we would hire and say,
I
get
mean, you
these.
just do it once a year, you just probably need a couple $100 to buy the mulch and have someone new for. That's it. I mean, there's not a lot of maintenance, they're all perennials, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. You don't get much for a couple $100.
Well, I know, but Miranda, Sawyer does that, she lives right up the road. Mylene, your cleaning lady, she does that kind of thing also. You might just ask a question and see what she would charge. That's what I would start with.
So. Let's approve an amount of money, going back to your last question, and make Matt do it.
Yeah.
How much you want to spend? To start, and see what we get.
$500? Is that gonna be enough? I don't know if that's enough. 500?
Well, that's what I would
Thousand.
ask Miranda or Mylene and say, hey, what would you charge for this? We're not looking at a huge spot.
So we gotta get this thing going, see in July.
Up to $1,000?
Yeah, let's authorize him up to 1,000 and say, Matt, do like you always do, be efficient. Think about it being your money, make the place pretty, ask Deb what she wants. Okay,
Ooh.
right? So, you want a motion?
I make a motion to approve up to $1,000 for Matt to get somebody to fix up the flower beds, do some mulching, maybe add some more fixtures.
Second. All in favor?
I
Thank you, Matt.
Very good, thank you.
Talk to Deb.
Scott, I didn't hear where these, well, bits are, assuming they're in the village, or we're assuming anything. And, is that gonna start this year, or is that for?
It immediately starts. There's a couple of perennial beds right here on each side of the steps where you walk into the building, if you walk on your way out. There's a pot over here on the square. And Deb had mentioned, out by the town
Garage.
garage there, there's a old snow plow that they
Then
fixed up.
there's-
There's a little bit of work there.
Lady Bird Park too.
I'm sorry, Karen?
Sign.
The sign at Lady Bird Park.
Another spot, yeah.
And you're gonna go for bid, or?
No, it's Matt's baby to take care of.
So how is it now, how is Matt, how is it gonna handle that?
Usually like to
I just randomly call landscapers,
call this is
so you just, you're gonna try to solicit,
now.
you don't have to go to bed for that?
No,
They don't tell me.
and those are exactly the reasons why we had a conversation a little earlier, which is, we don't want to deal with that stuff here. We have way too many things to be dealing with than that. It's our responsibility to make sure it's getting done. And we didn't fail with that one. So we'll fix it and just ask Matt to free things up and let's be a little bit more professional. And fix it.
So David was doing this and it was a part of his duties, or the road crew now not wanting to do it, or why isn't it being done now?
David did it because he took pride in his village. That's the answer.
So he
It
didn't-
wasn't part of his duties. He did it while he was working, but he did it as an extra aside.
And when did David step down? Is that last year or this year?
A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Good.
All right, next up is the Fall Festival ADA contract. That's for traffic control during the Fall Festival.
All good.
I think so. It's,
Our emergency management director, Phil, has reviewed that and he approves it, recommends that you approve it, sign it, send it back.
Same as last year.
Yep.
You read it? I looked at it.
Yep.
Good. You're good.
you're good. I make a motion to approve the ADA traffic control for Coventry Fall Festival on August 24th. As written.
A second. All in favor?
I,
Like,
Yes, Mayor.
Yeah,
Yep.
does that have that special agenda on there?
I don't know, if I'll look at it.
I'll see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say to make sure.
Yeah, just let me know if you need anything. I'll get it.
Thank you.
Yep,
And I have a copy of the contract.
sure. Just send me an email in the morning that we need to on this stuff.
you know,
Basically.
Matt, you can sign this.
Yeah, you just, as long as you guys look at.
Yeah, everything on there. So, okay.
You're good, right?
Yep.
Yes. Gary?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, now we have the fish bill. Fish the band.
Did you watch the trailer?
No.
It was good. I liked it. Matt's on it.
Where do
Matt's voice is on it.
you see it? How do you find it?
YouTube. There was a link in the email.
Did I get the email on that?
Yeah, the price of the Apple email stream.
Okay.
So somebody
A
created
couple
a,
emails from Mike on there, and then a couple emails from the guy that made the film.
So, yeah, okay, I will do that. So it's a half an hour.
the,
Yeah,
the movie will be, so somebody made a documentary about the fish concert from 20 years ago,
Yes,
15, 20, the 20th anniversary. So it comes out on August 5th. And they wanna, did you read the email?
I've briefed Matt,
Yeah.
Matt briefed me.
Because they wanna do a free showing before the official release here in Coventry. So I think if we do something like that, like the August 3rd or 4th, they talked about like 2nd, 3rd and 4th, but I don't know about 3 days. But over in the meeting house would be a good place to do it if we can get it together in a few weeks, 2 weeks. Also, the Cottage Fall Festival would be a good day to just play it for people to see.
Do what?
Like just let it play over and over again, and you know, like in here, so that you can just walk in. Watch it. And then walk back.
How long is the film?
It's 30
30
minutes
minutes.
When was it put together?
over the last several years. He talked like he'd been working on it for
I
quite a few years.
Yes, he must have came out with. If you'd be at least 10 years ago, saying.
Yeah.
So we don't normally do stuff this fast.
We don't,
Correct.
we don't.
Because it gives
Like
us
I said,
all a
this-
little extra time to think
This,
through
I
it.
mean, this landed on me, right?
I know.
Right when I got back.
I know, I'm
didn't
not
really have a
picking on
chance
you.
to-
So
Can't bet, it's idiot.
what are we getting specifically, what are we getting asked to do? Or what is somebody asking us to do?
I think
They're
you,
asking us to show the film in the town where the concert took place
In a public way?
in a public way.
at no charge to the public,
Right,
where when it comes out, I think it's gonna be a fee to watch.
right, yeah.
So it would just be the next step, we all agree to that, right?
Yeah.
No brainer.
If you guys say you wanna do this guy's gonna send me a flash drive with a documentary on it.
Yeah.
Plug it into the computer and put it on the screen and.
So we have to advertise. it.
Maybe we could get a representative. If we just knew one.
Oh, you work on a flyer. They're not interested in coming to go. I mean,
Well,
I think you could ask them,
I
to
don't-
offer them the space.
He's in California, I think, the guy that made, he lives in California, I don't know.
So he's not part of Fish, he's
He's not part of Fish, he's,
Okay.
I believe he's just a fan there.
Okay.
You know, we follow him around for years and, you know, made about this.
so if we just generally say yes. No reason to say no here, that we generally say yes, we would like to host such an event. And say, Matt. Coordinate, figure it out, think through for yourself whether or not this is the right setting or the church. It's gonna be one of the two, I would think.
Right.
You can't see anywhere else unless you go to the school and try to coordinate it with the. But that doesn't sound right either. It's probably one of these two and
Yeah,
just
he's the one who
talk to
does-
him, the select board is supportive. And we'll offer the buildings.
And I'll help any way I can.
Yeah, I'm hesitating on the bathrooms and, you know.
I weren't sure. I know they-
Bathroom situation.
The activity in and out.
But
handicap
again, it's
stuff.
only 30 minutes, so it's not like.
This is sort of your, yeah, so I'd probably get them for here. And then
'Cause they had
figure
a
out
con-
your dates.
They had a concert over there, and think how'd that go?
David said it was good.
Mhm.
He was,
I didn't get to go
he
to it.
was the guy on that, so. You don't know the dates, that's something you have to work out
Well,
with him.
he's gonna premiere his on.
August 5th.
August 5th. So he'd like us to do what, something before that date.
You gotta look at your calendar on this building. So you got some things to think about.
Playing golf that day.
All
What's
right,
his name? What's the guy's name?
I'll be back on
make him a list.
Yeah.
A big
I've
one.
got a good list for you. I wanna say his first name's Alex, but.
All right, so you can chase that down.
Absolutely.
Carrie
Gary will help me.
threw her hat.
Yep.
To help with whatever.
Where's the movie gonna, it's on the kind of venue, I couldn't give you too well,
Here,
right in this building.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll bring the screen, or we'll bring a screen, something. put it against the
Alex?
Wall downstairs.
Maybe in the
I was right, it's Alex.
Alex Daltas, Daltas,
DAL.
TAS.
We'll set up some chairs, in the gym down
Is
there.
it the number?
Use this.
I don't see anything in here.
Matt can get you that.
Yeah, I don't know if I maybe ask him if he wants his number given out or maybe his email. I don't see why he wouldn't.
That
We'll give it all, you can bother him all day long.
doesn't bother you.
Perfect.
And where's he gonna show it? It's gonna be shown in Vermont, where down?
I think he's doing a national thing, so he's in California, so he's gonna show it, wherever large congregations of Christians are, yes, which is probably lots of cities.
And is it particularly this concert here or any?
It is, it's the documentary is specific to the concert that took place here in Texas.
I wonder the significance, is that because it was their last concert?
Right.
It had a name. Jam, so it was like
Yeah,
something, it
it's
had to do
jam.
with a traffic jam, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like just everybody leaving their cars on the interstate and walking, and that was the kind of the take I took on it, but I've only seen
Mud.
mud.
Okay, any other business tonight?
Traffic might have been.
Mud besides the blood.
Mhm.
One of the questions are, do we have an update on the tax sale?
Okay,
As far as the mobile home, whether that's part of POA. I don't know if it's because it's going to become a POA issue yet. There is a mobile home in place there. So the other mobile home was moved illegally. This mobile home was installed illegally. So it doesn't appear to me that those are the same. So I don't know what the protocol is in the clerk's office for moving the mobile homes.
Yeah, they don't come to us.
So that's something that perhaps the select board, we should look at for future. Because unless you're driving by or happen to know or see this kind of a situation, mobile homes are the bane of my existence.
that's it?
They
No,
come and go.
Just mobile
No.
homes?
No, no. Water just, we won't talk about that again.
Oh, boy.
There's no control over it.
That's on state level.
But it is on a town level, because for tax purposes, we have to either tax that person, or we had this issue with Elizabeth Medina years ago. She leaves town, she abandons the trailer, it becomes an issue for the tax rolls. This is a very similar situation, where the owner of the property said that the mobile home is dismantled, even though it was there in March. Now there's something else there, but the property has since sold. I didn't get that transfer until after my tax sale. So
So let's break it down into two parts. Let's look at what's currently in front of us, which is we had a tax sale on an ungrounded mobile home that was facilitated, and then the ungrounded mobile home really was ungrounded and left.
Correct,
And so the person, whoever that is, who paid the tax, the delinquency on that,
right,
we've established through our legal division that that is their issue.
Correct.
It's their responsibility. It's an ungrounded mobile home. They were
Yes.
warned of all the consequences.
the tax sale
At
was
the
brought
tax sale,
up,
and that's
buyer
what-
beware.
And so the educational piece to that person has that, that in
Absolutely.
order for them to become whole, potentially, for that money, the process for that would be that she would need to request, help me with my language, the Board of
Correct, they have to show up
Civil
paperwork
Authority,
for the BCA.
and she hasn't done that,
Included,
but she knows that.
Correct,
So has that been verbal or anything in writing?
it was email, so that would be writing, and the mother of the purchaser was the actual bidder. Came in and I've spoken with her on several occasions,
Okay, so you've documented that,
correct,
so nothing else for us to do, Deb, other than for you to wait, and if she chooses to try to reclaim her money, we would be certainly willing to schedule a Board of Civil Authority. Yep, I'm sorry, to deal with that, and to look at. Other than that, it's over the vet. It's buyer beware.
correct, and she was duly warned.
Right.
at the time.
Second half of that is what you're alluding
Yeah.
to potentially is how can we maybe not repeat? Is there anything that we could do from the town's perspective to potentially mitigate that?
Correct,
I don't know, but we'll put it
Yeah.
on our secondary importance list.
because I don't even know, did you have a bill of sale on the new mobile home? I don't even know who owns it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know if Kate, if you ask other tax collectors if they've had it,
Oh,
Maybe
every,
it's a-
every tax collector is probably exactly.
and what have they done, what do they do?
So you just,
Mhm.
that's what happens.
When I go to
You
site-
pursue it through small claims court.
Yeah.
Right, which is counterproductive.
Right.
It's a waste of
Either way,
our
so-
time and money. You're never gonna see it.
All right, so. That's the answer. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are we done?
Getting there, got some minutes to approve.
Should we-
Uh,
I think they look good. That's how I remember it.
I'm good with you.
I make a motion to approve the minutes for the select board meeting Town of Coventry, Monday, July 8th, 2024, as presented.
I second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Do you like rewatch the video
I
to?
do, yeah.
Listen and write.
I watched the whole thing the next day. Make sure I got all those notes, so it's. Okay, you got a folder of warrants there?
Start. I did look at all those. Didn't see anything with this.
Which one? The trailer for the
Yeah.
movie? Sure.
Yeah, we could do that. That's a good idea. So you can
Yeah.
offer them that.
Is the trail alive?
Yes, on YouTube.
But the movie is 30 minutes.
The movie's 30, and that hasn't been released yet.
North Star Fireworks, I thought we paid that already. It was a contract.
Yeah,
Yeah, we just got that invoice today.
I thought we sent them money
After
already.
repeatedly asking for it.
Pay them back in like January, February.
I think somebody just had it.
Yes, those are them.
That there is a free technology on there that is AI, but if you haven't watched the meeting for you, and it will transcribe it.
Go right on
You
this
can
for
go
you.
back and it will make them try, you probably wanna look at them over again, it might give you back a little bit of your
Sounds good.
time. It's like otter.com.
Right, heard him on
Yeah.
on that.
I didn't even get my good writing style though.
That's true, yeah. Bad stuff I say, you get it out.
You might wanna summarize.
No, that's very helpful.
The lawnmower, that was for the cemetery? And who did that transaction, Rod?
Jared,
Okay,
I think Rod was the one who made Jared.
what do you want is? Thank you. Perfect, thank you.
Right.
So you've got a motion.
Yeah, well, those suckers.
Oh, yeah, I make a motion to accept the warrants as presented.
Second, that motion, all in favor?
I
Okay, adjourn us.
make a motion to adjourn.
I second that,
Very good.
all in favor?
Aye,
What is the Coventry Day?
24th.
August 24th.